Title, MVP, best player in the league, that's what I'm going for. And I just have to start believing in myself. You know, because it starts with yourself, right? You believe in yourself, everybody else will follow suit, and you'll play better. But you know, all that stuff is definitely some goals of mine. I want to be a champion. I want to win an MVP or 2 or 3 or 4, you know, whatever. And just hopefully play a good enough career to where I can be in the Hall of Fame one day. And I think I would be doing a lot if I accomplished that. I'm Chris Bosh, and my journey began in a small town called Hutchins, Texas. It really started with my father. He always played in the church league. Yeah, he was always going to the recreation center and everything, and he, you know, he'd have to take us because I guess my mom couldn't watch us, and we just try to do everything he did. And that's kind of how it started. You know, me and my brother, we couldn't play, so we'd have to be out on the side, you know, and it started off with dribbling the ball, and you know, we had our own little goal we could shoot on, and then eventually, you know, we wanted to shoot on the big goal, and that kind of got me started. It was competitiveness. There's always competitiveness between brothers, and that's healthy. But in our case, it wasn't fair because I used to just dog him. So it was pretty one-sided for a long time, even now. Me and my father, we went to a bunch of different places. Sunday afternoon was like park day. That was the day to play at the park. Cement basketball court, chain nets, crooked rims, rusted backboards, bloody knees. You know, young kids just trying to have some fun and play basketball. That's where I first fell in love with the game. We never really looked at style. We just wanted to play basketball, me and my friends. We'd either be out there all day or all night, you know, pretty much until it got dark. And, you know, we didn't have the, you know, street lights or anything, so, you know, once it was dark, that was it. You definitely learn how to be tough because, you know, it's a lot of people that aren't necessarily looking out, you know, in your best interest. So, you know, you're going to take some cheap shots sometimes. People are going to cheat you, you know, but, you know, that's all a part of growing up. I didn't learn moves till I started watching basketball games on TV. You know, that's when, you know, you really start learning how to really play.
Kevin with the dunk, and one more coming. And Garnett trying to provide the energy and the spark for his team.
You know, growing up, you watch the TV and you try to find what person that best suits you on the court.
Woo! Hey, geez! You can see it coming, and the building is electric.
You know, I look on the TV and I see this 7-footer who's handling the ball and shooting jump shots, posting up. I mean, just doing everything on the court. And where I was going to school, they kind of limited bigs. You know, it was kind of an old school mentality. You know, bigs, you stay down low and you don't dribble the ball. It just kind of changed. The game was changing a little bit, and that inspired me to work on my perimeter skills because I had to, I wanted to. I mean, I saw it and it was pretty cool, so I was like, I can do that too. I wasn't 7 feet, but I was growing. You know, we always had to have good grades. You know, basketball was great, but unless you brought home what you were supposed to bring home, you couldn't go outside and play. We couldn't have our video games, and we couldn't play basketball. I don't like writing. I don't like plots. I don't like the thesis statement. I don't like all that stuff. I like to do math. That was my thing. And everything else I enjoyed because, I mean, it was school. You know, I just wanted to have good grades. You know, consequences were suffered if we didn't get grades. And you had to pass to play anyway. So that was just extra motivation. You know, my mother, she had a computer business called Computer Help years ago. And I got to high school. I started selling computer parts and stuff to kids who needed it. And then, you know, I was in a little club called Whiz Kids for photographic design. And I mean, that kind of just jump-started me. But I like it. I have a lot of fun doing it. It's just easy for me. You know, how some things just come natural to you. That's one of those things for me. When I was 17, I went to ABCD camp. And a lot of my friends got to go numerous times. Some went 3 times, some went twice. I went 1 time. I guess I just was successful over 1 summer and 1 school year. And that was good enough to get me invited there. And I went, and you know, all the best players were there. And you know, they come out with the ranking system after that, and I held my own, and I was ranked up pretty high, and I was like, well, I have a shot. You know, I have a legitimate shot. And I was looking at all the schools who were recruiting me at the time, and it was looking good for me. And that kind of just motivated me to play harder, work harder, because the goal of the NBA was attainable.
Bosh running the floor, hooking him up for a vicious slam.
This kid is more than just talent. I mean, you talk about franchise players in terms of leadership and character. He's got it all.
It's kind of like surreal to be leaving so fast because I wasn't trying. It was kind of like a no-brainer, but I just wasn't ready to hear that at the time. I wasn't like, well, that's it, right? You know, some guys are waiting to hear that. People had to tell me. And I said, really? You know, it was like news to me. And I was like, well, I mean, college is so fun, and I mean, we could be really good next year, but eventually I shot the deuce and just left. You never know what happens, man. So, you know, I had to strike while the iron was hot.
With the first pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade from Marquette University.
Shoot, Dwayne Wade's won a championship. LeBron averages 30 points every night. So does Carmelo. I mean, those are fantastic players. And you know, I'm just in the back, just doing my thing. And you know, I think we're all going to be successful. And I really don't want for attention or anything. But you know, when you have guys like that so talented, you just got to sit in the back seat and ride.
Chris Bosh is a kid that they drafted 4th overall. Many were saying at that time, trade the pick, try to get better, but many people feel that the Raptors have a real diamond in the rough here.
And no doubt about it, just 19 years old, a tremendous upside. Chris Bosh gets better every single time he steps on the floor.
You know, I've snuck in all my life, so I'm going to just keep doing it. This is no unfamiliar ground with me. I was really scared because I didn't know what was going on. The type of person I am, if I don't know what's going on, if I don't know what's behind this door, you know, it frightens me. Just the fear of the unknown, that's what kind of bothers me a lot. And I just remember asking all the vets, you know, how's practice going to be? Is it going to be long? Is it going to be hard? Is training camp hard? How's the season? You know, I had all these questions, and you know, I just had to dive right into it head first.
Bosh. Will he get it? He does. Spectacular play.
Welcome to the NBA, Chris Bosh.
Coming in, I had talent. I felt that I had the confidence to play with everybody. It was just, they were so big. You know, TV doesn't do it any justice. You know, when I start playing, guys were going at me because I'm a skinny post kid and I'm a rook too, so they're gonna test me and see what I have. It was just really, really tough on me.
Bosh admitted after the first game that, yeah, he is a little frustrated that teams want to physically take advantage of him, that those veterans who are a little more bulky want to abuse him down in the post physically.
There are going to be stretches that you're just downright lousy offensively. Too bad. You got to suck it up and get stops. Find a way to stay close.
I didn't really consider myself a very major player to the team. And, you know, I just kind of slowed down. It was tough for me to play, but after a while, you know, you just let your talent take over and make sure you work hard and come prepared to do your job. And if you do that, you'll be fine. You know, you can't lose if you work hard.
Hey, Chris! Don't wait. As soon as you got it, go. Don't give him a chance to double team you, all right?
He challenged me constantly.
If I gotta tell you that, you can't play.
You know, sometimes people really don't understand. You know, they don't care if you're not feeling well, if, you know, you're having problems off the court.
I ain't giving you nothing. You get nothing, Chris Bosh. Nothing.
People still expect you to perform, and that's the tough part about this business, but I've just learned how to just put things behind me and just play. Shoot, man, just watching that dude deal with everything. He's an extremely talented player. I think he's a lot more talented than when people really notice.
On the left wing, it's Vince Carter. Carter at the top of the key, open his box with a slam dunk.
He always told me how to, you know, prepare for every night, what to expect from the city, you know, how things go sometimes, you know. And he kept reminding me when times get tough, don't worry about it, you know. There are going to be tough times. You just can't play good all year. He was the show. You know, everybody came to see him play.
Kidding me!
Between the fans and the organization and everything, I kind of see how that sort of franchise player was treated. I'm glad that I watched it because it's really helped me out a lot.
This is a very significant event in the history of the Nets franchise to bring a player of the stature of Vince Carter to the New Jersey Nets.
I'm not here to badmouth Toronto or anything because it's a great city. You know, we had rough times. We have good times and bad times, just like anybody. And you know, here I am now.
It wasn't much of a surprise, but you know, it's like, okay, Vince Carter's not here anymore. Okay, well, we got to find another way to win. It has to be another way.
Bosh for three.
You know, I really don't think of, well, he's gone now, so we're doomed.
Bosh for three! Our player of the game is Chris Bosh, who is the man now in Toronto. He will be counted on in the years to come to make big shots, and he made a huge one.
You know, after he left, you know, guys were like, oh, okay, well, looking at me like, and I'm looking like, what is it? I really didn't expect it from myself. And, you know, it came a lot faster than I would imagine.
On those slim shoulders, he's carrying quite a bit of weight.
Toronto's putting my face on the ticket programs and things. I'm seeing my face on the billboard.
And Chris Bosh comes up huge defensively at the other end.
I think I surprised a lot of people. I showed them that I had a lot of potential on being, good one day.
Mo Peterson, Chris Bosh looking on. Their ball club down big here at home.
It was killing me, man. I mean, it doesn't matter how hard you play, you're still on the losing end. That's a bad feeling. It just kept getting worse and worse. And it was a couple of days where I didn't want to go. I was like, man, I don't want to play today. I tried yesterday and we lost.
They go to 1-8 at home and 1-15 overall. And the Raptors are being booed off the floor.
I used to tell them all the time, we'll start winning when y'all won't tolerate certain things in this locker room.
Sam was waiting on it. He was waiting on it. He was just sitting back and watching. And it was just like, okay, pressure's building up. He's about to explode. I was upset. It's like that was enough.
Chris just tore into him. He just lit into him. And I stopped the coaches. They was like, well, we need to get in. I was like, no, stay out. Because in order to win, I can't be the policeman in the locker room. I'm the coach. Winning teams police themselves. And by the time I walked in the locker room, now they knew if you didn't do what you're supposed to do, it wasn't going to be me coming in just getting on you. Even though we had lost the game, I knew then the loss was worth it.
Sam came to me and was like, you're the leader of this team now. It was time.
Bosh overpowering, showing an inside power attack against the man.
All right, Chris, we'll let you go. A pleasure. Thank you.
Congratulations.
What a ball game. Yeah. CB4.
Raptors have the franchise's first ever division title.
You gotta love it.
I mean, it's just a great feeling. It's a rush. You just have to enjoy something like that. And I was excited. But then again, I told you the fear of the unknown. I was excited, but then it was like, yeah, we finally gonna make the playoffs. Well, how's the playoffs? So I was trying to ask people and see how it is and get their little 2 cents, but people can tell you all they want until you experience it. It's just a whole nother season. It's so much different than the regular season.
This is where your star player, your franchise player, needs to step up. And unless he's completely overwhelmed with 2 or 3 players, you got to take it to the rack.
You got about 3 seconds.
I'm in a position where I'm pressured all the time, being, I guess, the main focal point of my own team. And you just get used to it. They had the experience, they had the talent. We knew that, and we knew Vince coming back to Toronto, everybody was going to be real emotional about that. And it just lined up perfectly for us to play the Nets. And it was a great series. I mean, I wouldn't change it. I'd keep it the same. I think that was good for our franchise, and it was good for me.
Rejected by Bosh. Protesting.
It's going to make everybody a little bit tougher and a little bit smarter.
Carter, between the leg dribble, driving left, takes it to the rim.
In round 1 of the playoffs, despite a big fourth quarter from Chris Bosh, it is Vince Carter who moves on.
He came up to me and he had a serious look on his face. And he said, look, man, you shouldn't be upset. You shouldn't be sad. You played a great series and you turned that franchise around. You did that. Coming from the guy that came from the franchise, he's the reason people know the name Toronto Raptors now. He just said, you turned that franchise around, you should be proud of yourself. And I'm proud of you. And that meant a lot to me.
Tongue-in-cheek, Chris Bosh is basically selling himself as an all-star to the fans on YouTube.
This is Chris Bosh here, and I'm offering you Boxing Day special, post-Christmas special, a New Year's special. Why don't you bring the 2008 year in right?
First and foremost, I wanted to get votes for the All-Star game.
Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you go get an All-Star ballot right now and punch in my name?
That was the main reason for the video.
That's right. Remember, it's Chris Bosh.
I was thinking the whole time, what can I do that'll be funny? I think that could be real funny and just be a real funny viral video, because I know videos can spread fast.
It is free. That is right. It is free. We don't want your money here. We just want your vote.
That was really spawned by a thought of his that maybe fans don't really know who I am, so this came out of his personality. He's not really that kind of guy, and did a pretty good job with it.
It's been a long time coming. It's been like a 5-6 year stretch.
Kevin Garnett said at All-Star Weekend, I'm glad I'm going to be out of the league by the time this guy hits his prime.
Could there be a higher praise? I mean, those kind of words coming from Kevin Garnett?
It's been a long time coming. It's been
I would say I'm just getting started in my journey. I think I have a lot of ground to make up. You know, we haven't gone past the first round yet, so as a team and as a player, we have to step it up, and I have to step it up, and you know, hopefully in the near future that'll start happening. Most of the times when you talk to guys, you know, some dudes that haven't even won a championship, they always talk about their team and how much fun they had and how hard they worked and how it brought them together. You know, and their goal might not be attained in that journey, but to try and accomplish that goal, you know, they get that much closer, and you know, I think that's what we have in Toronto right now.